Let's have a fireside chat with Events Air. Here's your host, Vanessa from EventFrog.
Hi everyone, Vanessa from EventFrog here, and welcome again to the show Must Go On. We're so excited to have you here. We're now moving on to chatting with some of our key partners who have made this show really come alive. And first up, we have Trevor Gardner, CEO of Events Air. Trevor, thanks for joining us today and giving up your time to participate in the show Must Go On.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Vanessa. It's really great to be part of this event, and what a great event you've been putting on. The stage and the set looks absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you, Trevor. Yeah, if you look at here, looks amazing. So I'd like to definitely thank all of our key partners for helping to really make this show into a virtual experience. So I'd like to jump straight in and chat to you about On Air and how you've conceptualized the product in such a short amount of time. How did this all come about, and how did you launch the platform so quickly?
Yeah, sure. So it's been quite an amazing journey looking back at it. So around mid-March, we started getting calls from our customers with the announcement of events being shut down, not only in Australia but worldwide. And they were really looking for some kind of solution to continue events going. Events are such a critical part of our community and our society. They exchange lots of ideas, they deliver new research, there's lots of great benefits to events continuing, and we couldn't just stop. So we looked at what kind of options we had and really conceived On Air mid-March this year. And then our team went really hard to develop the product. It was 7 days a week. It was through holidays, through Easter. We ran a number of test programs. You guys participated in that, gave us great feedback. We took a lot of our customers on the journey with us as well, getting a lot of feedback as we went along. And then at the end of May, we launched the first version of On Air. And we've had version 2 since then, and we're just about to launch version 3. So it's been a very quick evolution, but I think one of the things we're very lucky with is that it's been built on top of our Events Air platform, which has been around for a long while. It's very mature, very stable. It's got a lot of security and scalability built in. So it's been quite easy for us to kind of build on top of that.
Yeah, for sure. Even coming from our point of view, jumping from Events Air to On Air wasn't as big of a leap as we thought it was going to be, because we knew Events Air so well and all the features that it already had. It got in really quickly and easily, and kind of a really smooth kind of transition into using Events Air to using On Air, because it all flowed so well.
Yeah, and that was really important in our design, because a lot of the parameters around privacy and security really need to flow from the registration system right up into the online platform. Yeah,
100%. So we can certainly attest to the strength and all the amazing features that Events Air and On Air has to offer. We've been using it since its inception and have run many successful webinars and virtual conferences for our clients so far. Can you let us know what's in the pipeline for the next version?
Yeah, so we're really excited here. We're just about to launch version 3 of On Air, and we've got some fantastic features in that. Probably our headline feature is a new part of On Air called Aircast, and that adds a whole lot of new functionality for delivering conference sessions. So it includes the ability to have breakout rooms, and there's a lot of parameters around how you can do that. It allows the event organizer to bring attendees from the audience up to the stage to be seen by all the other attendees. It integrates with AV partners really well as well, so that the AV partners doing the production can actually take the feed from the audience and from the online speakers through to the AV production feed and feed that back in. And we're really building On Air for hybrid events as well. So we see once the venues start coming alive again and we're getting live feeds from the venues, we'll be feeding that signal through On Air, through the AV partners, back into the venues, as well as to the attendees online. So there's a lot of features that we've built around that. We've also done some really exciting things for exhibitors, where they can actually set up their own presentations now and run their own scheduled demonstrations of their products, and invite attendees to come and see those. And there's lots of other great small features where we've had feedback from customers. So we're really excited to be pushing that out. We're putting it through a whole lot of tests at the moment, and we'll continue doing that for the next couple of weeks. But yeah, very excited about the latest versions. And then we'll go on to version 4, and we've got even more great ideas to keep adding.
Awesome. Well, it looks like you've jam-packed a lot into version 3. I think my favourite feature that you've already discussed is bringing attendees up onto the main stage so quickly and easily. I can see this definitely working with a lot of my clients who don't necessarily run big conferences, but they surround themselves around like a lot of open discussions with the attendees and the speakers. And I can see this definitely working with awards nights and ceremonies as well.
It's absolutely perfect for that.
Yeah.
And there's even some features when you push attendees into breakout rooms where you can still have the main presenter broadcasting into those breakout rooms as well. Right. So, you know, we've tried to emulate a lot of the functionalities in a live event, and also so that when we move to hybrid, the virtual attendees are just as engaged as the live attendees are.
Great. And is that your favourite feature, or did you have a different favourite feature?
Look, I think that is probably my favourite feature. The other one I do really like that hasn't really been shown a lot yet is how the AV companies can integrate, because they're a really important part of the overall mix in delivering quality, television quality kind of productions. So how we integrate with them, and that they are part of the ecosystem to create a seamless experience for the live and the virtual attendees. So I really like that feature as well. Yeah,
definitely. And you'll get to hear a little bit from Ozstage Events coming up as well, who've helped us throughout running this event as well. So that'll be good.
Right.
So we now know all about the platform and what's to come. Next is on to running an event. So you've presented a number of times this year, a lot of them surrounding the theme of being brave and diving headfirst into this new world. Can you talk that through a little more and comment on what you think are the first steps to running your first virtual event?
Yeah, so I talk to lots of event organisers around the world, and there is a level of nervousness there. There's also probably a bit of reluctance in the hope that we're just getting back to live events. That is not going to happen. My advice in terms of running your first event, I still stick with the theme of be brave. It is a big step for a lot of particularly associations and corporates and the people that EventFrog would support. So it is about being brave. It's also about having a great partner to work with you on your first event. There's a lot of pitfalls that you can avoid if you're working with EventFrog, and there's AV technicalities, there's how speakers get prepped and briefed before the event. So there's a number of things that you need to think about there for your first event. But I think that the big thing is really understanding that this is something that every meeting planner needs to tackle and get past. And once you've done your first event, you'll find that actually the skills that you have in running live events translate pretty well to the virtual event world. It's still all about timing. It's about delivery of content, quality of speakers. All of those things are still really relevant. There's just this nervousness. So be brave. Work with a partner in EventFrog, and you'll find that it isn't actually as hard as you might actually think it is right now. But unfortunately, it really is the future. And even when we move back to hybrid events, we're still got this virtual piece that we need to bring in. The great news, though, for event organisers is the early stats we're seeing is that it's increasing the reach of the event, and ultimately it's going to increase the revenue of the event. We're seeing some events that were live events that have been literally dropped to be virtual, same time, same structure, same speakers, and they've had a 5 times increase in the number of attendees. So I think, event organisers are going to find, just like when they added attendee apps to their event, or they added website or online registration, this is just another feature that they add to their event, which is a hybrid piece, and for virtual attendees to be able to get in. Yeah,
for sure. And that's one of the reasons that we put on this event. We had to be brave and we had to dive in head first, and we've gotten all of our key partners involved. We've gotten some great speakers involved as well, and we really want to showcase that you can put on a great virtual event, and it's not that hard if you have the right people surrounding you.
Yes. Yep, definitely.
So, you and your team have been part of some huge virtual events the past few months. What are some of your tips and tricks to running a successful online event?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and I have seen some events that have gone exceptionally well. I've seen other events that haven't gone so well, and there's definitely some things that are worth considering. The first thing is really around rehearsing. A lot of people have this mindset of a webinar, and you just get on a webinar and you go because it's really a low grade kind of production. Whereas an event, a conference, particularly if it's a paid event, people are expecting quality. So rehearsal is very important, and it's a different type of rehearsal for the speakers. So doing that, I think, is important. Secondly, being very conscious of timing. It's really like running a live network television production. They've got a very strict timing schedule down to the half second that they stick to. That's what we need to be thinking of as meeting planners now. It's not this speaker's run over 5 minutes, we're going to bump the morning tea back and push everything on. You've got to be much more focused because people could be coming in and going out for sessions, just like you expect a TV program to start on time. I think the third thing is around creating engagement. That's really the secret to a successful hybrid and virtual event. And there's a lot of things that you can think about. And this is where, you go way beyond just a webinar. So some of the things, if you look at the holistic approach to your event that you should be doing, is one-to-one exchanges. Mm-hmm. So, you want to have attendees interacting with each other, attendees interacting with speakers and exhibitors on a one-to-one basis. You want networking functions so that, a lot of reasons people come to live events is the networking side. So you need to facilitate that. You need to create an opportunity for attendees to interact with each other and exchange ideas and exchange contact. Gamification is another really great way to create engagement where people get rewarded for going to sessions, and you can kind of control the behavior of your attendees by putting a layer of gamification onto your event. I think breakout rooms are a great way to create engagement where you've got a large session and then you put everyone into, breakout rooms of 10, and they've got a facilitator in there and they're discussing a topic, then they come back into the main room, somebody raises their hand, gets brought up on stage, and they report back what their group discussed. Live polls and live Q&A are other great ways to really create that real-time live engagement. And I think finally, the other thing that's really important is the creating value for exhibitors and sponsors. So that's through bringing all the attendees and making the exhibition and sponsor opportunities really integrated tightly into the program. So making sure there is time to go and interact with the exhibitors, providing the exhibitors all the sort of tools for things like lead retrieval, one-to-one meetings, being able to, showcase their product through videos and presentations, I think is really important as well, because if the exhibitors and the sponsors come to your event and they get great value, then they're going to want to keep coming to your events. And that's a really important revenue source for your event.
For sure. Well, I'm very glad to say that we've got a few big ticks there. We've got a lot of those features in this event, and I'm really glad that the attendees will get to experience a lot of those throughout the day. So that's been really great, Trevor. Thank you so much. It's been great to have a quick chat about the short but jam-packed history of On Air and how to show all those watching that with the right suppliers behind them and a little bit of courage, they can create and produce engaging and powerful virtual experiences.
Yeah, thanks very much for having me, and I wish you well for the rest of today's event. It looks fantastic.
Thank you so much, Trevor.
Introducing our event partners, Aaron from Ozstage Events and Gavin from Cornerpoint Studios.
Hi, and welcome to the Ozstage Events Sydney studio. We're excited to be able to host this amazing event here today, and I'd like to take this moment to share with you our top technical tips for virtual meeting and web streaming. But first, let me give you a very quick introduction into Ozstage Events and what we do. Ozstage Events are a national technical production company that have been delivering professional audiovisual services for over 25 years. Our role is to assist you and your clients to put on the best looking, best sounding event possible. We've been busy here since our little buddy COVID-19 arrived, delivering over 40 virtual events ranging from conferencing to award shows, most of them here in this very studio. One of the main services we've been providing to our clients is the technical knowledge and equipment to get great quality production into your web streaming for a reasonable budget. How do we do this? Here are the Ozstage Events top technical tips for virtual events and web streaming. The most important part of any event is sound. Your audience will disengage with your event if the sound quality is poor or they can't hear it. This applies to both live and virtual events. Always ensure your key messages are clear, audible, and concise. Well-managed audio keeps your event running smoothly as well. Think ahead and plan for the changeovers, what you need between each break, and have enough microphones for all the presenters in a session. It takes the pressure off you and your talent. Plan your music. Think about waiting rooms, pre-show, post-show, and the breaks. Even well thought out presenter stings can change the atmosphere and give your show a polished feel. Music can set the tone for your meeting. Match it with the message and you can't go wrong. Video. A well thought out presentation is imperative to get your audience to have a good viewing experience. It's key that the audience is able to see the content but also be kept engaged with it. Try to keep your content concise, to the point, and easy to read. In the virtual world of COVID-19, your audience is likely to watch from a number of different devices. Some have very small screens. Virtual and hybrid events are no different to live TV. The audience only sees what you want them to see. Don't be afraid to introduce some theatre into your show. You can always use cutaway shots and pre-record content to give you time to change over your presentation space. Depending on your subject matter, polling, chat groups, and live Q&A can be effective ways to keep your audience engaged and to measure participation. It's good to get healthy feedback on your show. See what worked, see what didn't work. Just because it's virtual doesn't mean that your audience don't want to be involved. Lighting is vital to any event or camera image. Natural light and well-filtered light helps lift the image, giving it clarity. Well-directed light will give the professional feel to any camera shot. Lighting from behind or backlighting will help give depth to your camera image and lift the ambience around your presenter. And finally, colour can help tie it together with your theme. Lighting design can be the difference between a good event and a great one. With professional camera and video equipment paired with professional lighting, the result will always trump that of your laptop. And my final point for today is to have a good team. It's a rapidly changing environment we're in today. Surround yourself with positive energy and people who are willing to take on the challenge. We've seen radical improvements in the way people are embracing the virtual and hybrid event spaces. Be creative and be clear on what you want to achieve. Your energy will still be relayed to your audience, even if it's virtual. So have some fun, enjoy the challenge, and don't be afraid to ask for help. I'd like to thank you for your time, and I'm now going to hand over to Gavin Walters from Corner Point Studios.
Thanks, Aaron. Hi guys, hope you're enjoying the show. I'm Gav, Executive Producer from Corner Point Studios. Corner Point Studios is a creative, fresh, reliable, experienced and nimble production house based in Sydney. We specialise in producing content for the event, corporate and marketing industries. We work across Australia and internationally and have been entrusted with producing content for some of the world's largest brands such as Dyson, LG, Medtronic, Nestle, Sanofi, Harvey Norman, the Australian Institute of Company Directors, and the Master Builders Association of New South Wales, just to name a few. The type of content we produce is promotional, internal comms, social media clips, interviews, training material, 360 video, VR and AR content, gala and conference content, event teasers and highlights, and multicam switch solutions, or more commonly known as outside broadcast. So why is it important to include content for your next production? Well, that's simple. It inspires and engages your audience. Viewers would rather watch content than have to read it. Content builds on the audience's emotions. It can make them happy, inspired, sad. It helps boost sales and builds trust with your viewers. They see a real person who they can relate to. They can see the product and how it works right in front of them. Google also loves video content and helps with SEO. And visual content is a great tool to promote yourself online, especially through social media channels like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. So to give you a better insight into Corner Point Studios, here's a quick show reel showcasing our wares.